Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Patrick here from All Things Mathematics, and moving on to the next midterm question dealing with matrix algebra. So here we have to find the values of m in this 2 by 2 matrix where this matrix is not going to be invertible. And there's different ways to do it. There's a short way to do it. There's also a longer way. I'll go through both in this video just to deepen your understanding of what's going on. So the short way to do it is we know that if the determinant for a certain matrix, in this case matrix A, is equal to 0, then we know that the matrix is not going to be invertible, right? If the determinant is going to be 0. And how do we find the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix? Well, we just take 2 times m, which would be 2m, and then we subtract 3 times -6. So 3 times -6. And basically, when is that going to equal 0? Well, basically when 2m plus 18 is equal to 0, or when 2m is equal to -18, or when m is equal to -9. Right? So at an m value of -9, that's basically the answer. This matrix here, this matrix is not going to be invertible if m is equal to -9. Now, a longer way you could do it is you could set this up how we usually find the inverse is you put the identity matrix on the side like this. And what you want to do is you want to use row reduce echelon operations to change this to be the identity matrix, and then whatever you get here is going to end up being the inverse. So let's go through some operations and try to get the identity matrix here, and we'll see what happens. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to divide row 1 by 2 to make this 2a1. So our new row 1 is going to be our old row 1 divided by 2. So what would happen? We'll have 1, -3, and then this row here is going to stay the same. And then over here we'll end up with, well, 1 over 2, 0. 0 divided by 2 is just 0 still, and then 0 and 1. Then what we want to do is we want to change this 3 here to be a 0. So what we're going to do is, let's actually do it up here. So what would happen is we're going to do, okay, the new row 2 is going to equal the old row 2 minus 3 times row 1, right? And so what would happen is the first row is going to stay the same. So that's going to be 1/2 0 like that. And then 3 minus 3 times 1 is going to be 0. And then m minus 3 times -3 would be like m plus 9 right here. Okay, this is going to end up being 0 minus 3 times 1 over 2, which would give us -3 over 2. And then 1 minus 3 times 0 is going to stay as 1. And then if you notice here, from this matrix we have, if we're going to let m be -9, right? If m is going to be -9, notice that the matrix we would end up having is a row of zeros here. Once you get a row of zeros within these operations, it's not invertible, because notice that first off, this can't be a 1, right? We're trying to get it to this identity matrix, and also we can't make this -3 be a 0 because you can't make an operation in terms of the second row because there's a 0 there, right? But for any other m value, it'll be fine other than -9, because for any other m value other than -9, we can make this -3 into a 0 by doing some operation, and then we can make that into a 1, right? So any other m value other than -9, this matrix would be invertible. However, with this m value of -9, you'd end up with a row of zeros, so it's not going to work out. All right, so that's the longer way to show it. This is the shorter way. When the determinant is going to equal 0, the matrix is not invertible. And that's a wrap for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you want to see more videos like this, please go to my website, allthingsmathematics.com. Over there, all of the videos are organized by chapter, by section. If you feel like you need tutoring at any point, you could also hit me up. My contact details are on the website. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.